this confidence, dreams and some honestness. I'm not here to save the day, that's for you to take away. I could play a million mind games, but instead I say something not illogical, something that is topical.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that. Spitting slow, spitting fast. I could roast, I could gas. Think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past.
And the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're worth my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains at last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah.
Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Gonna learn the consequence of being incompetent. Mental health is confidence, dreams and some honestness. I'm not here to save the day, that's for you to take away. I could play a million mind games, but instead I say something not illogical, something that is topical. Rub it on and watch it go, make yourself unstoppable. Dreams are irresponsible, but they're always possible. If you just believe, you could be so remarkable.
Thoughts in my head, a collage and they spread. I'll be great one day, going off of my meds. No, I'm not giving up, no, I'm not giving in. I will make it to the top, taking off in the wind. I gotta make it.
This is the value of wrestling, the revolutionary force in wrestling podcasting.
Oh, you know it, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. We are live for your Monday night review for December 11th, 2023. And we are here, and oh boy, what a night. And what a difference a couple days makes from Saturday to Monday. And man, is AEW's ship a rocking and a sinking in, and they got to do some major changes if they're going to steer out of the storm they have put themselves in, because WWE is like bringing it and has brought it. Not that AEW needs to compete with WWE, we've discussed that, but AEW's got to be feeling the reverb of what is going on with WWE. CM Punk, we got a promo that blew it out of the water. I know there's a lot of comparisons. We will get into that. We will delve into that. There is a lot to talk about tonight. This was a damn good show. This show, I mean, overall, pretty much borderlines on awesome. I could say it's good, but I had to give it the awesome because we had some good hit promos. Few things there. I even think the match that was kind of botchy even kind of made sense with its botchiness. But we'll get into it. Let's get into the introductions. This is the Value Wrestling. This is your Monday Night Raw review. And of course, the man sitting across from me is the one they only
Paulus Clarke.
Oh, you know. Oh, I have the collision banner still up. See, that was because the thing crashed and I forgot to change it. My bad. I changed it like twice now, and it's not doing what I need to do. Hey, we'll get it up here. We will get it right. Give me 2 seconds. We can fix this. Oh, nice and pretty. Thank you, Miguel, for pointing it out.
Dos.
OBS crash was the big thing, and then when it crashes, it resets to the last one we did. So, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody happy? Everybody happy? La-di-da-di. Welcome to your Monday Night Raw party. And of course, the one... Miguel team in the chat. Holding down the chat, keeping it live, keeping the party going in the chat. Join him, join us. put in your 2 cents, talk in the conversations, say hello, and
on the big time. And I bloody run this show.
because we know. Oh, baby. Yeah, this show was awesome for me. I thought it hit the points. I think it was finally time to give a show awesome. And if it was anything, it was going to be this show. Front to end, back to back. Everything was pretty solid. Yes, there was a bocce match in the middle of that. There was a tag team match that wasn't the best. But hey, you know what? I think we got some decent stuff out of this show. So we open up with a recap of everything going on with CM Punk, going to SmackDown, going to NXT, and coming here to Raw. Then we open with a Drew McIntyre cap, and of course we start the show off with Jey Uso, who is back. And I know Mr. Clarke was just so excited to hear the words that came out of Jay's mouth because it was Yeet Party Central. He got his yeet back. He's feeling oosy to be eaten or yeeting again. It was yeet this and yeet that and yeety yeet yeet. Mr. Clarke was going nuts. He loves that yeet. He's Mr. Yeet, the yeeter of the century. We're going to give him the crown of Mr. Yeet for 2023, Mr. Paulus Clarke. Anyways, so Jey Uso's back. They've gotten the rights for him to have his Yeet shirt back, to have the ability to say Yeet after all that other craziness. So he's back. He's out here talking about Drew McIntyre. You know, his dog Sammy's out because of Drew. And Mr. Clarke went bye-bye. Hopefully he'll be back in a second. And there he is. Welcome back to the show. You went away without even knowing it. Anyways, he's talking about it. And then Drew McIntyre comes down. Drew McIntyre interrupts him and basically tells Nick Aldis he needs to sign CM Punk. That Adam Pearce should not sign CM Punk. And then he comes out and apologizes for Sami Zayn and then tells Jay that's how you give an apology. And then he was going after the crowd, kind of like, what if somebody hurt you in the family? Wouldn't you want revenge? What if they didn't apologize? Which got us open to the match. Jey Uso versus Drew McIntyre. Jay getting better on the mic by himself wasn't the greatest. Drew is decent on this thing, but we had a great promo. This match was solid. They really let you believe that Jay was going to pull this out. And Drew McIntyre going more heel slowly. This really vicious, dominant heel that we're getting out of Drew, which is becoming very good. I'm beginning to love it. He digs his fingers into Jay's eyes and blinds Jay momentarily to hit the Claymore and get the 1, 2, 3. This match went 17 minutes, 10 seconds. Good, solid wrestling match. Both these guys giving their best. Really made you feel like Jay was going to win here. But Drew McIntyre, which was the right winner, pulls it out by nefarious means, really sets a place going forward. We're getting this evil, out of control Drew. I think we're going to get a darker Drew, and I'm loving it. I'm all about it. Can't wait to see what happens. Jay's still looking good coming out of this match, and what a way to open the match. This was great. Your thoughts, Mr. Clarke?
You can call Drew's actions more devious by the segment, but because his actual promo points are on par, are hitting those points that he needs to make, I'm like, I mean, you can look at him and boo him, you can if you want, but I'm like, I'm here for it. I am just so here for it.
Yeah,
he makes perfect sense to me still.
No, it was good. It was a good opening. We got a great opening with this match. From there, we look at CM Punk's trip to SmackDown, where he called out a bunch of people, including Roman and Seth Rollins. Then we get the promo package with Shinsuke Nakamura, which was just awesome. I mean, Nakamura's promo, WWE delving into the Japanese culture with a small little just kind of an anime-looking-esque, comic book-esque type thing. Was amazing. They really nailed this. They're really building behind Nakamura. They're really building this match. I can't wait to see what's going to happen between Nakamura and Cody Rhodes. A lot of people think Nakamura's was gonna get the win tonight. Should get the win tonight. I still believe firmly, Cody. You can't have Cody lose. So I don't know how they're gonna end this match, but we will talk about it when it comes down to it. From there, we're in the locker room with the Judgment Day. They are not happy with what's going on. They're ready for the Creed brothers. Rhea Ripley says talking about being a leader because Damian Priest tries to act like the leader. They're getting into it. So Rhea Ripley's upset, but tonight she's going to prove who she is. She's got Maxine Dupree versus Rhea Ripley, so we know where this is going. From there, we have the Creeds with Alpha Academy giving Maxine Dupree a prep talk, and Ivy Nivel's here. And then eventually R-Truth comes in with Christmas lights. He's going to go to the Judgment Day Clubhouse and decorate, and wishes always going to make sure everybody finds their Easter egg. And then he's going to tell everybody Happy Thanksgiving as he's walking out. The team tries to tell, R-Truth they don't think he's part of Judgment Day, but R-Truth doesn't take it, and he walks off with a string of Christmas lights. R-Truth doing R-Truth stuff, of course.
Basically.
From there, we got the match, Rhea Ripley versus Maxine Dupree. This is a 9-title match. Ivy Nile is here with Dupree. This match went 2 minutes, 8 seconds. It wasn't the prettiest match. There were some moments here where Maxine Dupree looked like she was botching. Maybe she showed a little bit of her greenness, but the way it worked out, because it was a squash match, because Rhea Ripley's so dominant, and we know Maxine so Dupree, you almost are able to forgive it. You're almost overlooking, like, it kind of fits the match, because she's just getting the snot bot out of here. But they did try to give Dupree a couple of quick moments with Rhea Ripley, where she was reversing Rhea, and Rhea was getting mad. Of course, the end of this match, Rhea just put out Maxine Dupree, and then Ivy Nile, and jumps in to protect her friend, and we get a stare down between Nile and Rhea Ripley. If that's what we're going with in the future, I hope so, but I'd like to see a little more build behind Ivy Nile before we really take her as something serious and not just another feed me more. But I like this match. It wasn't perfect. It wasn't pretty, but I kind of can excuse it, because looking at Maxine Dupree against Rhea Ripley, you just know she's going to get squashed. The botches in the way they came across, you could almost say, she was getting beat up pretty good, so you can kind of justify it a little bit. But, I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt to Maxine Dupree. She's still green. They're trying to get her over. This wasn't the best match, but, Rhea Ripley was going to dominate her, so you kind of overlooked the few bumps here that did not go the way it should have. Mr. Clarke, your thoughts?
The fact that there was these botches, quote unquote, and maybe they were, but it's like, it's a fight. It's supposed to be a fight. It's not always going to be pretty. And the idea that every match has to have this so cool, smooth flow, it's like, no, it's a fight. No. Some matches can actually look terrible, and it's okay. It fit the storyline, what they were going for. Mm-hmm. So it's like, who cares?
It fit. That's why it was almost like, okay, it may have been a botch. She may not able to come up a couple of times. Whatever happened there, but the way it flowed and the way the match ended, you're just kind of overlooking and go, you know what? It was a decent match for what it was. It was a squash match, yes. But they did let Maxine Dupree get a little over on Rhea. They did let Rhea get a little upset in that, which was nice to see a little bit from her. So. Okay, can we quit doing that? We know I'm connected to... All right. We done? I guess playing with them. Anyways, we get a video package for Katana Chance and Kaden Carter. They're going to go after the women's tag team titles. They want the women's tag team titles. A real interesting video package. I don't know what I was supposed to get out of it. I won't say how I thought they came across, because I don't know if it would be the best way to put it. But it was just a really, really weird video package. Did you get anything out of this video package that helped them in any way, or just kind of like, I don't know. I was real sexy. Are we live? Are we not live?
I don't ever slow up, no, I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love.
All right, I think we're back. We had a little issue there, a little buffering, a little slowdown. So we'll give this a couple seconds, see if we're catching back up. Mr. Z, if you're there and can let us know if we can be heard and everything sounds good again. Looks like we're up. Everything looks like we're doing pretty. Weirdness. Mr. Z, how are we sounding? We sounding pretty? Good, thank you. All right, so we're talking about Chance and Carter video package. I don't know. I thought this was a really weird video package. I didn't know what they were trying to tell me. I got mixed signals here. But anyways, after that, we got Adam Pearce going into CM Punk's locker room. Pearce brings out Punk for a chat, and Punk is here, and we have the highlight of the night. Probably what made this a damn good show, made this an awesome show, made this just... They did it. They did it like they should have. Punk's out, and he's here, and he's in Cleveland, Ohio, and he has a bit of history with this town and this building. And it hasn't always been nice to him. He debuted in this building with Mickie James on his arm, and then he got walked in the back, and they sent him to OVW. This is where he learned to love a lot of things. Then when he came back, this was where he was world champion. He got kicked in the head by Randy Orton and was stripped of the title. It was put in I forget, one of those five. It wasn't a 5-man, but one of those, I forget what they call them. It's 5 people, but you start off one-on-one, and we go from there. So he lost the title, and then he came here 10 years ago and walked out, which hurts people who wanted to see him that night. Now he has received an offer from Nick Aldis and Shawn Michaels, but his mind's made up, and then he's in Cleveland, and he's going to walk right back into Cleveland and make it all right. So we brought up a lot of the history, talked about a lot of things. He apologized for the fans who were disappointed in his walking out 10 years ago, but he's here in Cleveland, and he is officially signed with Monday Night Raw, which we all expected. And here comes Seth freaking Rollins. Was not really expecting for Rollins to show up in this moment. Didn't think they were going to go here with this, but they did. And boy, did they just take it from one level to a whole new level and shot this out of the park. They go face to face, and I mean, AEW, here's a lesson. There is nobody you can take in AEW right now, and I'm sorry, Tony Khan, I wish you did. There are nobody, I mean, well, I guess maybe you could have Will Ospreay now, but I don't think there are any two people right now that you could take and have stand in the ring face to face like they did Rollins and Punk tonight. And for a good 1 to 2 minutes, they just, no commentary, no, they didn't say anything. Nobody said anything except the fans chanting in the background, and they just stood staring at one another for a good minute or two. I mean, it was a long time. They were just standing there. I don't think AEW has any two guys that can do that right now and make that moment where you can honestly sit there and just be like, ooh, in silence. I don't think they could have at many times. They could have done that with Omega and MJF at many times. They could have done it a lot of times, but now that they've ruined that moment with these matches and not making them feel important, I can't think of anybody they could have. Now, they could probably do it with a Will Ospreay and somebody maybe down the road. But right now, they don't have anybody that they could pull that moment of just having two guys stand in the ring and nothing be said other than the fans chanting. And the fans were eating this out of the pocket. And then Rollins got on the mic. He's glad Punk is signing with Raw, basically, so he can keep an eye on him. Basically, is what we got from this. He talks about how Punk walked out of the company 10 years ago and has done nothing but tear this company down in every way he can. Rollins says, I hate you. Punk is going to be around. Rollins wants him on Raw. Punk, he's basically said, either Punk's going to blow up at some point and self-destruct like he always does, or if he somehow changed and managed, maybe he can get a world title shot, and then Rollins will expose him for who he is. It was great. Rollins sounded great. He talked about Punk saying, oh, I'm home. And then Punk and Rollins, it's like, this isn't your home. This is my home. This is the people in the back's home. This is the audience home. Rollins basically saying, you don't belong here. You don't fit in here. Nobody welcomed you here. And I don't want you here. And I'm going to make sure you don't destroy what we have here. And it was beautiful. And here's where we get the comparisons. A lot of people are saying that WWE's plagiarizing, mimicking, that AEW is so hot that even WWE is stealing from AEW. And I'm like, okay, who did it better? Hangman or Seth Rollins? You can sit here and argue it to a T. We can go back and forth on it forever. The promos had a similar undertone, done at different times. I think this is, a lot of people are just saying that WWE is picking up where AEW, I think this Punk had his piece in this. I think Punk wanted Rollins to go this direction with it. I think it was a cop-out to that. But Rollins has a different feel, and Rollins just delivered it in such a more smooth style that was so more meaningful than AEW when Hangman did it. Now, both these guys are justified in the reasons they were saying it when they said it. Both promos were great in the time sign they were saying it. Rollins did it, I think, a little better because Hangman, we really didn't understand where he was coming from in it. It was kind of like off the cuff, and it wasn't bad, but it just wasn't, and it didn't really work out quite the way we wanted it, or quite the way he wanted it to. But here we can see Rollins, we can feel Rollins. You feel this is real, you buy into it. You know how Rollins feels about Punk. And yes, this is some work. This is some shoot. This is Rollins. I don't know if Rollins necessarily just outright hate Punk. He might, but I think, Rollins does have a disdain for Punk, is not happy with how Punk left and talked down the company. And Rollins has been here working his tail off to be the guy. And seeing Punk's walking back in the door. So, yeah, I don't doubt this doesn't ruffle the feathers of Rollins. And, we got it laid out here. It was beautiful. It was amazing. Rollins nailed it. Punk came back and said, "Are you done?" And Punk didn't really get into it. Punk basically said, "This is your one pass to disrespect me in my face." But he's officially entering the Royal Rumble. And when he wins the Royal Rumble, he may be the one that's coming after Rollins. And so I think we've just been told what to expect, what we're going to get. You've been told, I'm going to tell you again, CM Punk's winning the Royal Rumble. He'll be facing Seth Rollins at night 1. Cody Rhodes is not going to win the Rumble, which is fine now. He'll go in the Elimination Chamber, win that in Australia to a big pop to get his chance to go get on Roman Reigns. And we're going to have a blowout banger of a WrestleMania. WrestleMania season is going to be a banger season. But this promo, this moment in time was perfect. And they don't really need to have too much more right now with each other. But we know where Rollins stands. We know where Punk stands. And I think we are off to a hot Rumble. I think WrestleMania season is going to be insane. What we're seeing coming together very, very greatly. Mr. Clarke, your thoughts on the promo between Seth Rollins and CM Punk, and CM Punk signing with Monday Night Raw?
Very, very good content. I tend to disagree with you a little bit about who did it better, but that's because I look at it from the perspective of original movie versus remake. And doesn't mean just because there's a remake doesn't mean that it's going to be bad, but it's going to be different intentionally. Because Hangman did it first with Punk, even though it wasn't intentional in the same way that it was intentional here tonight. I understand why it can be looked upon as rough and different and whatever. But because I kind of saw this story already, I'm like, it doesn't hit me the same way. But with that said, it's still very good content. It works perfectly for the story that CM Punk and Seth Rollins are going for. So I have no problem with it whatsoever. I'm very interested to see where they go from here as far as the promos. How are they going to elongate this until the Rumble or until, the match they eventually have?
I don't think we're going to have anything really with them other than maybe crossing paths, maybe in a backstage zone, but I don't think you're going to see Rollins and Punk cross until after the Rumble. Just because I think you'll have Punk on Raw, but I don't think we'll see Punk every week. I don't think we're going to see Punk wrestle until we get to the Rumble, which is fine by me. I think that's where he should officially make his in-ring return. But I don't think you're going to have Rollins and Punk cross. They may briefly talk about each other in a promo. Rollins, I'm sure, will probably be more that guy, whatever, blow him off, and where Punk might be a little more assertive in his direction. But I don't know. I don't think we're going to get a whole lot until Rumble. Then when we get into Rumble and CM Punk wins the Rumble, and then Seth Rollins is faced or forced to have to face Punk at WrestleMania, then I think the Jets and the cooking and this is going to get really turned on, and it's going to get turned up, and it's going to get hot, and it's going to put it on a whole different level. I think right now you did what you needed to do. Now they just need to kind of be mostly apart. Yes, they can talk about each other and take little jabs, but Punk just needs to focus on winning the Rumble and selling that. I know a lot of people want to see him in ring action. I just don't think there's any reason to put him in the ring against anybody until he goes into the Rumble. Then after he's in the Rumble, go ahead.
This isn't AEW. He doesn't need a tune-up match.
Not even.
That's right. He doesn't need it. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I would even say a tune-up match, but I just don't know who you could put him in there with right now that would be worth anything. I don't want to see him wrestle like a Tozawa or some low card guy that's a feeder just to give him a match to, and then you don't want to see him in there with like a Nakamura or a Bronson Reed or a Gunther or anybody of establishment, because Punk just couldn't lose a match going into the Rumble. So I'm like, and of course, right. The story they keep telling is it's been 10 years, and that's the next big mile marker. And that we came to Cleveland, that was a mile marker. Now we're going to Rumble, that's the big mile marker. The only thing I can hope for that would be anything to bonus the Rumble is that AJ Lee might be in the Women's Royal Rumble. That's pure speculation, hope, and dreams. If she wants to do that, but I mean, I don't think you do anything with Punk until Rumble. I mean, he can come out and do promos, but I don't know if we're going to see him every week on Raw reading into the Rumble, because I don't think we need him every week on Raw. Yes, it's shooting ratings, but I don't think you need him in the ring talking, because I think we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think we got like 5 or 6 more weeks. So I mean, you got to space him out to keep it fresh.
Absolutely. Because if you don't, you're going to overexpose them before the Rumble, and that's just going to shoot themselves in the foot that way.
So, he's going to be main event in WrestleMania. The thing is now, the only bad thing about Seth Rollins seeing Punk going into Mania for the title and the story they're starting to tell, that story could very easily overshadow Cody Rhodes' story going against Roman. So, I mean, and that's not necessarily a bad thing.
That's why you make it night one. It's the longer story with Cody and Roman. You make night 2 to be the big blow off.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying. I mean, I think you're going to get some people are going to say Seth Rollins and CM Punk should get night 2, which I don't think. I think that should be Cody and Roman, even though CM Punk's winning the Rumble, so it's iffy. But I think you're fine in that. But I think it also elevates. Now you're going to get a war kind of between night 1 and night 2, because you're going to have CM Punk and Seth Rollins against Cody and Roman. And I think you're going to take those 4 guys and you're going to escalate these matches and the promos and everything we're going to get. I think that's the one thing, regardless of who might be the bigger story, in the end of the day, those 4 guys, if they know they got to compete against each other and friendly competition is a great thing, I think the promos, the work, and everything we're going to get going into WrestleMania is just going to be exemplified even more, because now you're going to have Cody and Roman wanting to be the best match on the card. Seth Rollins and CM Punk are going to want to be the best card, the best match on the card, the best match of the year. Seth and CM Punk are going to go out there to have the match of the year for 2024. Bottom line, that I already can tell you, both those men in their minds, that will be their goal, no doubt about it. So it's going to be a banger WrestleMania, getting hot and ready. Anyways, from there, we got a surprise match. We got a little preview of Bronson Reed and Ivar rematch. Reed hit back in a moonsault. Then we got the suplex off the top rope. Both men bounced off in the air. But Bronson Reed got the barrel pin at 9 minutes, 53 seconds. This was a solid match. This was awesome. This was a great match between Bronson Reed and Ivar, even though we've seen it before. This one, I think, was a little better than their first one.
Oh, absolutely.
Your thoughts on this one?
I was just so shocked to see a win off a superplex. I thought that move should have been a finisher for someone for the longest time. That finally someone actually gets to win off of it. It's like, finally! Hooray!
And then we go in the back and we see CM Punk coming face to face with Judgment Day. Damian Priest saying, I hope you win, because then I can cash in my money in the bank if Punk wins the title. Punk asks where Rhea is, and they kind of get upset about that. From there, we go to break, and now Judgment Day's in the ring without Rhea. They're out here talking. Dom and Finn go off, and then eventually Dirty Dom gets his moment of booze where he can't really speak. And I don't know if anybody noticed during Rhea's match, she had a choke collar or a leash that said "Dirty Dom" and big old metallic letters around their neck. Eventually, R-Truth comes out. He's upset because he wants to decorate the clubhouse, but they put new locks on both the front and back door. Damien lets him come in after JD tries to chew him out. And R-Truth is here with some ideas. First, he says they need to kick JD McDonough out of the group. Second, Priest needs to stop calling himself the boss because it makes Mommy upset. Priest knows everyone likes Truth except Priest, and then this is where he gets clothesline and we get a beat down. And the Creed brothers are out to save R-Truth against Judgment Day, which made sense. And so we go from there. Creed brothers get the one-up on Judgment Day. And we had a good, solid moment there. From there, we have CM Punk. He runs into Drew McIntyre coming out of Priest's office, who wants to finish his story with McIntyre gone. Adam Pearce says McIntyre is getting his title shot against Seth Rollins on New Year's Day. So that's very interesting, but it makes sense. We know Rollins and McIntyre were going to be a match. I don't know if it was going to be at the Rumble, but again, you've got to let the two Rumble matches, and when under the Triple H era, we know this may not be a very long pay-per-view, and with both the Rumble matches probably being an hour in themselves, you got 2 hours on a 3-hour, maybe a 4-hour card that we could justify with the Rumble. So your under matches, I don't think you want 2 world title matches on your under match, so I can see why they're doing New Year's Day, Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre. And then we turn around, and here's Kofi Kingston, Ricochet, and Chad Gable. And Punk's happy to see his old friend Kofi Kingston. Of course, Kofi, Ricochet, and Chad Gable walk into Pierce's office to talk about the Intercontinental title. Great moment here.
You're not going to talk about the line of the segment?
Which one?
Hey, you're making me crazy.
Yeah, okay.
I thought it was a nice callback. That's when he'll be like, oh, I don't do that anymore. It was silly, I know, but again, I thought it was a great callback.
All right. From there, we got the Carter Chance versus Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae. Kind of know what this was going to be about. Chelsea Green and Piper Niven went on commentary. Natalya and Tegan Knox were backstage watching the match. This match went 2 minutes, 24 seconds. After party finishes for Chance. And Chance and Carter get a win here over Hartwell and LeRae. Nothing to really get excited about. It was a decent match for everybody who was involved. Not a great match, but it was a decent match. Chance and Carter next week get a tag team title shot. All the tag team titles are going to be on the line. As Judgment Day will defend their tag team titles against the Creed brothers. And Carter and Chance will get the chance to take on Chelsea Green and Piper Niven as they defend the women's tag team champions. Your thoughts on this match, Mr. Clarke?
But from a story perspective, you knew exactly what this was to give another win to Chance and Carter.
Yep.
Really to write home about, fortunately. I think they're still trying, from their time in NXT up to their presence on the main roster, they're still trying to find their characters. They're a great team, they work together well, etc. But they're still trying to find their characters. And so that's kind of why it's like, kind of connect, kind of don't. Like,
yeah,
it was what it was.
Their video package threw me out earlier. I was so like the video package they did for them. I'm like, I was confused. But anyways, now we're backstage with DIY, and they're having a mystery opponent. Ciampa's asking Johnny if they can trust him, and then Imperium walks in, and they want to know who it is. And they have a back and forth before Gunther comes in and says he don't believe it. So tonight we have DIY and a mystery opponent against Gunther and the other. We got all of Imperium. So out next is Becky Lynch, and she's here for a chat, and she's going to talk about Nia Jax, how she was here and then Nia wasn't, and they've never got to have their match. And if it wasn't for Nia going down on double ACL, that even her knees gave out on her. And then Nia eventually comes out. I know I'm talking about the woman that we never talk about, but this was a decent segment. Nia talked about how Becky owes her entire career to her and the broken nose, and we're definitely setting up for a match between Becky and Nia. Good stuff here. I think it was good. I'll give credit to Nia on this one. Usually we don't say her name, but tonight I think it was good. She felt real. Like, this felt like a real segment. It felt good. It didn't feel just, it felt like we're ready for a fight, and I'm ready to see this fight.
Yeah. It was a lot of callback, a lot of history, so
Mhm.
they could play off of that very easily, which they absolutely needed to.
Cody Rhodes understands that he and CM Punk have the same idea, but they realize it can't work at the same time. As for Shinsuke Nakamura, Rhodes knows that he had a heck of a career in Japan, but this is Cleveland. Heck, Stardust debuted in this building, and Rhodes is ready. No, she wasn't screaming. It was nice. DIY and their mystery partner versus Imperium. Imperium out to the ring first, and here comes here comes Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa out to the ring, and they stop, and we get The Miz, the other Cleveland boy, Johnny Gargano from Cleveland, of course, The Miz, and The Miz is their mystery partner. And I want to applaud the commentary, who were very shocked because they ran down the whole history of how The Miz came in, brought in Ciampa when Ciampa came up, and him and Ciampa, and then Ciampa took an injury, and Miz never called Ciampa. And then when Ciampa came back, he attacked Miz, and then Johnny Gargano got involved, and then Johnny Gargano had Dexter Lumis attack Miz for reasons where Miz was paying, Dexter for his things. And so there's this deep history between Ciampa and Gargano and Miz, and how can they trust each other. I was glad they brought up all that history in commentary, because you're kind of like, this is interesting that they're choosing to team with The Miz. Ciampa looked less thrilled about it, as Johnny Gargano seemed a little more excited about it, which fits both of them. I mean, Gargano was having more fun with it all. There was a beautiful time here where both Miz and Gargano, Cleveland boys, were in the ring. They did tornado DDTs. Miz goes for a figure four on Gunther. Kaiser tries to get in, but Gargano wraps him up in the Gargano escape. Eventually, Gunther is able to tag out into Vinci. Vinci comes in, but eventually Miz hits a skull crushing Kamali. This was a good match at 10 minutes, 42 seconds. This is a viable match. Miz looked good as the babyface. It was a little weird. DIY looking awesome. Imperium having their falters here. It's going to be interesting. It seems like this week we're not talking about the breakup of Imperium. We're looking at a solid Imperium, even though they lost, but we have to see how it went. DIY looking good. And having Miz involved isn't a horrible thing, because they made it make sense. They brought the history, but it all worked out. This is a great match. This eventually led to The Miz and Gunther coming face-to-face backstage, and Gunther is going to give Miz his title shot on one condition, that The Miz cannot compete or get another title shot as long as Gunther is the Intercontinental Champion, which is fine by me. We see where the story is going for now. Good, solid match. Good afterplay. Everything that this worked up to fit. Mr. Clarke.
Wow. I mean, we've been talking about, like, it's been rumored that, like, these two teams were going to eventually get together and have a match. We thought maybe it might be at a pay-per-view. I'm kind of actually glad it wound up being a TV match instead. Like you said, the commentators made it make sense. So it's like, okay, good. We see where we're going. I have no complaints whatsoever tonight.
No.
I loved everything about it.
Yeah. No, this show was great. This show flowed into everything. We had good, solid matches. Storylines fit. And I don't know if it was just awesomer because Collision just was good. It was good. It was good in ring stuff, but they didn't have a lot of other stuff. AEW TV's just been bad that we're looking at Raw going, oh, I mean, tonight, this is one of those few times in Raw history where 3 hours did not feel like 3 hours. You know that?
It was 3 hours?
Exactly. Then the match of the night. I mean, these two guys brought it. I was really worried because, Nakamura versus Cody Rhodes. There was a lot of talk about Cody Rhodes and Shinsuke Nakamura. Now, a lot of people were behind Cody Rhodes, saying Cody Rhodes could take a loss to Nakamura and letting Nakamura win would be good. And I'm permanently about, you can't have Cody lose until after he wins the title. There's just no reason to have Cody lose. This is his story. He's overcome this adversity. We know he's not going to win the Rumble, so you just don't really want to give him losses. You want to make him feel like he may not make it to Mania to get that story done, but he just can't lose. And they pulled the magic out of the hat. They did exactly what they needed to do. I was a little worried because they had this going like 20 minutes. Like we were about 10:40-ish, and we said like 20 minutes left of the show, and I'm like, what? They're going to actually have a match? And they had a banger of a match. Nakamura and Cody brought everything. Nakamura dominating Cody and Cody coming back, and then Nakamura getting upset. Nakamura throwing everything at Cody, but Cody keep coming back. Eventually, Nakamura, we get a Cody cutter that connects. Cody's rolling up for the crossroads. Nakamura slips out, spits the miss right in front of the referee into Cody's face. This was a 17-minute, 42-second match. Nakamura using the miss, getting DQ'd. Cody wins. Nakamura still looks good and devious. This story can continue a little longer. That was the other thing I was a little worried about, was like, we're rushing this. This story needs to take a little longer. They did this perfectly. Nakamura goes to attack Cody with a Kinshasa from behind after match. He went to go get a chair and tell the Creed brothers, for whatever reason, we had the Creed brothers come out and save Cody, which was really confusing to me. I don't know if everybody else left early, but I would have thought maybe a Jay would have showed up to chase off Nakamura, or maybe, Alpha Academy. It was really weird to see the Creed brothers come save Cody, because I don't recall any moment where Cody and the Creed brothers, have acknowledged each other. I don't know why the Creed brothers are coming out to, I guess they were just the saviors of the day. They came out and saved earlier, so I guess, let's do another save. I don't know. It was just really weird to see the Creed brothers out here, but fine. They saved Cody. I guess they're, and I don't know. I kind of feel like the Creed brothers need to be heel. I just feel like we're being set up. They're too. The way they come off in the ring is great and dominant, but I feel like they're being too buddy with everybody. I'm just like, these guys are going to turn on everybody. They're setting everybody. There's just a vibe I get, and I think they need to go heel. I think we need a strong, dominant heel tag team. Yes, we got Judgment Day, but I don't feel like Finn Balor and Damian Priest are like this dominant heel tag team. Like, they're in a stable. They have the tag team titles. They're doing great with them, but I think you need a good dominant heel tag team that's like a real tag team. The Viking Raiders are out, so they can't really do that with them. But I'm like, the Creed brothers could really be that heel dominant tag team, taking the titles going forward. They are going to face Judgment Day next week for these tag titles, which makes me wonder what's going to happen. Of course, Judgment Day could screw this up. I would think this would be one of your undercard matches at the Royal Rumble, where the Creed brothers can beat Judgment Day to take the titles at the Rumble. You set the Creed brothers up for success. You give Balor and Damian Priest something to do that kind of keeps them out of the Rumble, possibly, because I don't know if you need Balor and Damian Priest. Definitely don't need Damian Priest in the Rumble. You could have him in there, but I don't think you need him in there because he's got Money in the Bank. For now, I really feel that at some point Rhea Ripley's going to lose her title, and then she's going to steal the briefcase from Damian and go cash it in. I just feel something funky is going to happen with this title, or the Money in the Bank, because there's just been too much setup, and the way it's going, if we go to WrestleMania, and then we have 3 months before the next Money in the Bank, so that Money in the Bank contract time will be running up. Damian Priest is not cashing in for either title before WrestleMania, and I don't see him losing his cash in. Like, if he's going to cash it, I don't see him losing that match. So unless they have CM Punk go over Cody, or go over Rhodes, and then they're going to do, Damian Priest is going to come in and cash in, but that doesn't really take him face. I can't see him cashing on Cody. So I really feel they're going to do something that we've never seen with the Money in the Bank. I don't think they're just going to let it run out. I mean, maybe they will. Maybe that'll be it. Maybe they'll lose the Money in the briefcase here. And so it'll be Damian trying to find it to be able to cash it in before time runs out. And maybe he'll go all the way to Money in the Bank before he gets to cash in. But I'm like, maybe Dom will use it to cash in to get his rematch for the NXT North American title or something. I don't know. There's so many possibilities I see going forward. But yeah, that's my thoughts. Your thoughts on Nakamura and Cody? I don't know how we got spun off on all that, but okay.
Well, what I was gonna make a joke about the Creed brothers afterwards. Avengers Assemble. That's what they were doing tonight. Just being Captain Save-A-Ho for everyone.
Oh, they're Avengers. They're Avenger Team B though. They're part of the B team. Kind of like the NWO B team. Yeah, that's where they come in right now.
Oh Lord, they're not that bad.
Well, but they're not that great. They're not no Iron Man, Captain America, Thor. They're not the A team.
They're the Junior Associates.
Yes,
just don't call them the B team.
B team.
Are they B+ players at least?
Well, at least they're not ready to have a super dick party.
What the hell? Okay, I don't even know where to go with that one.
You read my comment earlier on the chat about that, right? Or last night. Have you caught up on who's trademarking Super Dick and Super Dick Party as part of a new stable?
Oh, please tell me it's not the Bucks.
Yes. The Bucks are trademarking Super Dick and Super Dick Party for their new stable, which I guess is going to be KTB, Killed the Business. Their new stable is going to be about killing what they created, and they're going to have Super Dick Party and Super Dick.
Oh, it's also the name of their book.
Oh.
Own the Business.
Okay, yeah. So that's the new stable they're creating.
So when they started the Super Kick Party, that's what a lot of people were saying. A lot of their peers were saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a wrestler in the UK who wrote to Jim Cornette, and there's a funny bit about this because he was asking what he should do with what's Jim Cornette's advice is. He is Sir Dick Belvedere, who his name is Sir Dick Belvedere, and he has a superhero alias name which is Super Dick. So when he dons his cape and his disguise, he becomes Super Dick, and he's worried about the copyright and trademarks. And Jim Cornette's like, well, if he's already using it, then he has precedence, and I hope he gets a good lawyer and holds that up for a while, because Cornette's not about the life of that. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Breaking news, ladies and gentlemen, right here.
I like a lot of the Young Bucks humor, but sometimes they do take it a bit far, even for me. And that's just a little too far. That's not something you should be able to say on TV.
Yeah,
but speaking of which,
go ahead.
Are you a registered Lex offender?
Well, that's being squashed very quickly by Lexus King. Lexus King is like, yeah, we don't need to do that one. And yes, that makes a whole lot of sense. I love Lexus King. Can't wait to see what Lexus King can do more. But I guess there is a group, or they were starting something called the Registered Lex Offenders. Yeah. And it doesn't have it doesn't have anything to do with Lex Luger, and that's even crazier.
That's even better. Jesus.
Anyway,
he was saying he enjoys the creativity of these section of fans, but yeah, because it's not something that can be said on TV. He doesn't want to use it.
He got a laugh out of it. Was the thing. He thought it was funny, but he knows. Mm-hmm. Yes, Kat, you're live on the internet. Thank you very much. Walk on by.
The real star of the show.
Apparently so. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been your Monday Night Raw review for December 11th. This was an awesome show. This is a great show. WWE is what the kids call nowadays cooking. They are cooking, yes.
Levesque is cooking. Levesque is cooking.
Anyways, it's great. They hit everything they needed it to. I don't know. No, AEW doesn't need to compete with WWE, but I think the reverb of tonight's show is going to put some dents in AEW's armor, especially with Tony Khan's mindset. I feel like he might take this as some personal, or he's going to be the one that's coming out going, oh, see, even WWE's copying us, so we must be something. And then just I don't think
he's going to continue to be his delusional self.
He's in the land of Delulu. He is in the land of Delulu. He's floating down the river Denial, you know. I don't know what to say about that boy. Of course, we'll be back Wednesday to cover Dynamite. Dynamite looks like a good show on paper somewhat, but yeah, I don't know. Swerve and John Moxley scares me a little bit because I don't know where that match is going to go, because, I mean, they both like to bleed, so I'm expecting some blood, just hopefully no vampiric stuff.
The only question we have is, whose house?
WWE's house is what it is, let me tell you, all right? It's Mr. Levesque's house that's running this show. I'm telling you. Yeah. The highlight of the night, well, nope, I guess we won't get the highlight of the night. I guess it's the only thing depressing for some people is they watch this Continental Classic, but they don't. We get Swerve, but we don't get any Prince Nana. Andrade comes out with CJ Perry, but Swerve can't come out with Nana.
That's okay. We'll just go back and watch the Swerve's opening at Full Gear, where Nana and the girls did the entrance. We'll remember the good old days until this Continental Classic is over.
So is it really Swerve's house or is it Nana's house? I'm just curious.
I'm still saying Swerve because I love how Nana is Nana, but Swerve is so serious. It just, for me, the dichotomy just makes it.
Oh. Awesome sauce and Pepsi sauce. On this note, the way Nakamura is being used, one could hope Okada will sign. I will not be surprised if Okada joins WWE. I don't see why he'd go to AEW. I think that WWE would be something that would possibly be in his future, but he's going to stop in TNA first as he's teaming up with the Motor City Machine Guns in January at Snake Eyes in Las Vegas. So 2024 is shaping up to be a great year for some of wrestling. The other half of wrestling, we're still waiting for them to get to the party. I mean, hell, we are December 12th officially now, so we've got 18 days before their World's End pay-per-view, and we still only seem to have one match confirmed, and then the final match of the Continental Classic where the winner of the Gold League and the winner of the Blue League face each other, but we don't know who's in that match as of right now, and that's all we have on that card. Tony Khan is getting really bad about booking his shows and doing all this stuff in secretive where he's like books everything at the last week and then it comes out bad because there's no build and then he just throws things together. I'm sure we'll get the Golden Jets against Big Bill and Ricky Starks. Hopefully that means we'll see the Golden Jets win the tag team titles, get them off of Ricky Starks and Big Bill. Hopefully Ricky Starks can start his free agency soon. Everybody freaking out. The golden couple of WWE, the architect couple, Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch's contracts run up in the summer, and they're going to be free agents. And I'm like, I don't think you're going to freak out that big. I don't think Becky wants to go anywhere. I don't think Seth's going to go anywhere. So
if Becky ever decided to go somewhere else, the only thing I would like about that is I'd like to see her return to her indie name for a short stint before coming back to WWE. That's Rebecca Knox. I followed her career before she was ever in NXT, and I thought she was great then, let alone how she's progressed since that point.
As long as she goes to TNA.
Yeah, no AEW.
I mean,
voted no confidence.
Would we really want to see Seth Rollins in AEW? Or Tyler Black, as he probably referred to?
Maybe for a one shot, but not for anything long.
No. I don't want to see it at all. I think Seth Rollins is where he needs to be, where he needs to stay. And I know a lot of people say that Seth Rollins is, he's the number 2 guy. He's always going to be the number 2 guy behind Roman. And I'm like, I don't know so much about that these days. So.
I think that's for the audience to decide.
Exactly. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get out of here. We're going to call it a night. It's over the midnight hour. The oil is burning, and it's time to go relax and get ready for tomorrow. Yeah, okay. But we thank you for being here for your Monday Night Raw review for December 11th. This is Value Wrestling. We appreciate you, and thank you for taking time out of your night to join us, to be here. If you watch this later, that's awesome. Thank you for taking time out of your day to follow through with us. Make sure you like this. Make sure you drop a comment. Share this out with friends, family, and everybody you know that likes professional wrestling. And as always, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. We are on the march forward. We want to get there, and we need your help and support, so hit that subscribe button, help us grow. We will be back Wednesday with a Dynamite review. In the meantime, who knows what other new content's coming, so make sure you ring that bell for notifications. And until the next one, we're going to say bye, and I'm going to get that button, and I'm going to do that.
Slow up, no, I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you want to play tough and want to hate this, I'll always show up.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. Everything I
vindictive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that. Spitting slow, spitting fast, I could roast, I could gas. Think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past.
And the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're worth my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always